In the previous episode, we sailed the last leg of the voyage up the Atlantic coast of Spain, and we arrived into A Coruña, where we were forced to watch and wait for weeks for a weather window to cross the Bay of Biscay. But we kept ourselves busy exploring this stunning coastal area. This time we find the weather window that we need and strike out with just 500 miles between us and our home port in the UK. The voyage takes a turn for the worse as seasickness strikes on the first day, but we also have some incredible wildlife sightings. This is Intrepid Bear, a 40-foot sailboat on her way home after 3 years of adventures.
Join us, Kate and Ian, as we navigate the challenges of voyaging back to the UK.
Spanish sausages. Microphone's back on.
Yeah, there'll be things that we'll miss from Spain and from Macedonia particularly, and these being one of them. Just have a packet for a freezer just as a goodbye.
So we got back to the boat on Monday. It's now Friday. There was no immediate weather window, but now we have possibly got one tomorrow. It's looking reasonable for tomorrow. Be very little wind to start with, so we'll come out of here. We'll probably go due north for a day, probably mostly under engine. And then the wind turns and starts getting stronger from the northwest, and that could be perfect. Just slingshots across past the end of Brest, and we might even shoot straight into Poole rather than carry on and stopping in Falmouth, which is what our original plan was. So we're getting everything done, ready to get going. So we're shopping at the moment, stocking up on things that we need for the passage. We've got to get fuel later. I'm just putting the jackstays back on, which are the webbing straps that run the length of the boat that we can clip our harnesses onto. Take them off when we're stopped for any length of time because they just get dirty, and lubricated the sail slides just in case they've got jammed up, so that's free to go. Checked all the boom, make sure all the pins are in. Taken the straps off the head sail, put the removable inner forestay on just in case we need it for the working jib or storm sail, which I hope not, but it's on in case we want it. And it also doubles as an extra forestay. And that's about it. Oh, clean the windows. What's going on indoors?
Cooking up a storm, so
Don't say storm.
Cooking up a flat sea. I'm cooking like some pork bits and chicken legs and things like that for sandwiches and snacks out on the way. So I've got some roast chicken drumsticks and some pork things, pork pitters. I'm cooking a big bolognese, big chilli, so that's like meals for the next few days. I'm just going to get a roast dinner done for tonight as well. So I've got several things on going. Air fryer, that's after. So yeah, food prep, and then I'll do the packed lunch boxes for tomorrow in a bit, or at least most of them. I'll do the sandwiches in the morning so the lettuce doesn't get soggy.
So a fair bit of reflection on the plotter there, but we put in a route, 520 odd miles. Basically, with the way the wind's going, we're going to come out of Coruña. We're going to go due north for around 24 hours, which will be 120 miles ish, and then we will turn across to the southwest, turn more northeast across towards past just off the end of Brest. As I say, as we pass there, I think I said it when I was shopping this morning, as we pass there we keep inside of the traffic separation scheme, and we also will pick up weather information, so we should be able to decide whether to carry on from Brest or stop at Brest, or whether to go across to Poole or go to Falmouth or whatever. And from there a leg across to Poole, home. So putting waypoints in on our home base is quite exciting. So tomorrow morning, we'll come out. It's 3 days and 16 hours at, I think it's a planned 5 knots. It'll take a bit less if we go faster. But we'll probably be motoring for most of the first 24 hours, and then hopefully the wind will fill in. We can bear away to the northeast and start sailing for the second 2 or 3 days, fingers crossed. That's all based on the forecast. We've got two more forecasts to come before we leave. So we'll make a final decision tonight, but that's where we're at the moment. It's all looking good to go at the moment. What I just got to sort out now is the lines are set up for being in harbour, so they're secured around the posts over everybody else's ropes. Be really difficult to let go in a hurry, so I've just got to sort them out so that we can get them off nice and easily. So that's the spring line that was like wrapped around the cleat, so that's now secured nice, just with a quick hitch, cleat hitch, so Kate can take that nice off nice and easily, and then she's right by the step. Jump on and go. And now I've just got to sort out this stern line because that's hooked right around, so we need to get that off. So what I'm going to do is just replace it with this black line, bring that up to the cleat, and then that's just literally a loop off rather than this one that's actually around and through the cleat, and I'll have to unthread it in a minute. Now this end we've got the spring and we don't want to be messing around with that when we're undocking, but we've got quite a long rope on there, so I should just bring that end of the line down here and take the spring off and undo it from in that way. Just temporarily over there while I get this one off. So yeah, that's all the lines ready to slip normally now, so no springs, nothing wrapped around the cleats, just undo the cleat hitches or take off a loop and we're good.
I'm laughing my sausage.
That's what she said.
Oh dear, funny.
Anyway, how are you feeling
Yeah.
about the passage?
Yeah, I'm not as nervous as I have been about sort of it, and as I usually am. I reassured myself about the waves, and that, yeah, that's my biggest anxiety really, is I know it was going to be big waves at the beginning, and after Bayona to wherever it was, which was my worst ever. I've never felt that unwell, so I'm slightly apprehensive about that. But actually, all in all, I think, yeah, I've got my big girl pants on. I'm just going to get this done and get home. So.
Okay, ready when you are. So that's both the bow lines off, and the bow can just swing around a bit now, so I just control it with the bow thruster. Locking the boat in with the spring line, steering against it to try and keep the bow out a little bit. Whoop.
Right, you ready for spring?
Yeah, if you are, pressure's coming off.
Okay, wipe on.
Okay, all lines clear. Backing gently out, a little bit of bow thruster. There's no wind, so hopefully it'll be a reasonable departure. So I'm going to get the remote control, because once I've got that switched on and the autopilot on, I can go and help Kate on deck. Okay, so I've engaged the autopilot, and I've got remote control of the autopilot. So if I want to, I can just turn the boat using the autopilot remote control, which is really handy. So now I can go and help with the tidying up a little bit. So conditions are not too bad?
No, so far in here. I'm still reserving judgment to get outside the bay, but yeah, they're okay. It's as bad as it is, and yeah, it's improving wave forecast then. Good.
So just coming up to the first waypoint where we'll turn north for around 120 miles, and there's not showing a huge amount of true wind at the moment, but then we weren't expecting it to start with. So we'll we'll make the turn and then we'll wait and see how the wind shapes up. Yeah, so very little wind, we've turned, we haven't even got a sailing angle for the head sail, so had to ease back the revs because we can't maintain 2,500 for too long because it burns a lot more fuel. So we're down to about 5 knots and tickling along until hopefully, if the forecast's right, the wind should swing round to the southwest, although it's not meant to be that strong to start with, so we could be under engine for a little while, but that's kind of what we expected.
And then, just as the weather appeared to be settling down, and before we'd even covered 20 miles, the voyage took an unpleasant turn for me.
Poor Ian's not feeling well at all. And I don't know why, because like he's tougher than me sometimes, and sometimes I'm tougher than him. It's seasickness is one of those things you just cannot odds it. It's not that rough out here now. He's had a quell and that's not helping, and he's just feeling like shit. And I really, it's awful because you really feel for them. Yeah, hopefully he's going to get better soon if things are flattening down. Was expected, but still motoring. It's lunchtime now, 1 o'clock. I think I've got rough calculations. We're going to pick up this southwesterly wind. It probably won't be till about 4 or 5 o'clock. I hope that we get far enough north to pick it up as it comes up the coast of Portugal. So still motoring now. Ian's gone down below, still not feeling well. But I hope he recovers because it's not be a tough time for me trying to manage it all myself, or manage it with him not feeling great. And yeah, I was making a horrible passage when not something we'd both, either of us, considered today would be that one of us would be like wiped out. But he's got his head down now, so hopefully he'll get some sleep and feel better. All the dolphins seem to be back there now, so it's just you, me, and a big blue sea. Well, it's not even blue to be fair, it's grey at the moment.
So I am back, feeling a lot better, thankfully. It was just horrible. I've never been seasick on one of my boats, or boat I've owned or part owned, for ever, as far as I know. I've been seasick on other boats, on ferries, on delivery trips, and bits and pieces like that. But that wasn't even that rough. I just felt terrible. Felt like really, really tired. Wanted to close my eyes, but as soon as I did, everything was just spinning. It was like being sort of drunk in that respect. I was physically sick for the first time, like I say, ever. Just felt bad. Then it kind of changed that I felt like I should close my eyes, which I did. Lay down in the cockpit. The sun was shining on me. That wasn't helping. I was in Kate's way and she needed to do something with sails, so I went down below for a while. The motion's a lot less down there, and settled there, fell asleep, woke up feeling absolutely normal again. Back up on top. There was a little bit of wind, but it's now gone really. We're rolling quite a bit. It's not very nice. Still under engine. Kate's not feeling great now, so she's gone for a sleep. I think she's more tired than sick. I hope so anyway. Yeah, so just waiting for some bit of wind to fill in. There's supposed to be some southwesterly this afternoon. We're showing some wind coming from the port side. It's quite close on the nose, the apparent wind, but that's because we're driving forward. But I think I can get some head sail out, so we'll unroll the head sail and see if that steadies us down, gives us a bit more drive. Suppose we better put the main up, really.
A bit my mind. So I've just put the boat in night mode. It's 9:30, the sun's set, but it's very grey, so you can't really tell, but it's starting to get dark, so I've put on the nav lights and steaming lights because we're still motor sailing. We've got 7 knots of true wind, but it's like behind the beam. Sorry, no, we've got 10 knots of true wind, but it's like at about 130, which is giving us about 8 knots behind the beam, so it's not enough to sail on our own before the wind runs out. I think it's going to be about midnight. So yeah, we're still motor sailing, so I put the nav lights and steaming light on, and I've got the radar on as well to get into dark time. Switch nav instruments over to dark night mode, because I expect it will get dark quite quickly. Saw another whale.
So you can't see much out there, but you can hear it, and yeah, the wind's dying, but the swell hasn't. It's raining a little bit. It's not very pleasant, quite frankly. I had a reasonable sleep though, so that's good news. And with the Timberland on, we're only doing 4.75 knots. Not really enough, but we're burning through fuel too quickly. I'm not worried about the cost of fuel tonight. It's the availability of it. I don't want to run out. And we should be sailing by the end of today, Sunday, but I don't want to overstretch and not have enough fuel like the Mediterranean Sea. But yeah, so that noise, those sails just flapping, that is one of the reasons I just do not like sailing. Far too much of my sailing life has ended up like that, and I just find it so frustrating. I know not everyone does, but I do. It's just grim. I can't be doing with it. It doesn't amuse me, it doesn't give me pleasure. No, that's one of the big reasons that I'm not actually a sailor.
By this point, neither of us was feeling 100% on this trip, and lack of sleep was taking its toll.
So tired. Forget how hard nights are, and Massey's making, and it's been rough. Not really rough, but just like rough. It takes a while to get used to the motor of the boat again. It's been wind and no wind, but never quite enough to sail. I don't know what we're expecting, but it's still really hard. And even though the sun's now technically up, it's just grey. So when it's dark, it was just dark, and now it's just grey. At least I can see. I feel slightly more awake. But I'm just hanging on till like 8 o'clock, couldn't I? Just fall into bed. It's been a slog so far. Yeah, not much else to report. Just very tired. That woke me up. I say you wouldn't know what I've seen before. Boots come up from Wales, spray, blowholes. I've just seen like probably about 40 all along the horizon. There must be 40 odd whales, or 10 whales all they're spread over maybe 40 miles. It's just like, I've hopefully caught some spray holes and still going on. It's just like from there, like it's just blowing my mind. We're trying to get some more on film.
surrounded by whales somewhere far offshore, seems a good place to end this episode. Thank you for joining us as we tackle the mighty Bay of Biscay. This has been an unforgettable ride so far with highs and lows, but we're only halfway there. In the next episode, the true test begins. Sleepless nights, rolling waves, and the lowest of lows with the relentless battle against seasickness. Will we make it home or be forced to make another stop in France? Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.